What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Blitz Renegade. And you already see the title. We're here today with the All In Texas AEW 2025 review. I don't usually do AEW, but Tony Khan, he outdid himself today. So I'm going to go ahead and take some time, kind of read through, give my thoughts and opinions on the matches, and read some of the finishes for you guys and just kind of review it. So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for joining me at the Royal Red Zone channel. So let's just jump right into it. There was 12 total matches. There was two before the show, like open the show matches. They called it 0 Hour, AEW 0 Hour. And I think the whole pay-per-view went as follows. The main event was John Mox versus Adam Page for the AEW World title in a Texas death match. And then the co-main event was Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné in a women's world title match. And then it was Kenny Omega versus Okada. And that was a match to unify the international titles. The Hurt Syndicate took on Jet Speed versus the Patriarchy in a triple tag team AEW match, or AEW tag team match. Adam Cole and Kyle Fletcher. I think that match got canceled. I saw something on there that that match got canceled because one of them, Adam Cole, might have gotten hurt. The Ops versus the Death Riders, that opened the show in a triple trios title match. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. In a not a triple threat, in a tag team match. It was Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. And then there was the men's casino gauntlet, the women's casino gauntlet. The Sons of Texas and the Von Erichs versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Big Boom and AJ Conglomerate versus Dom Callis family. And then FTR versus the Outrunners. So we're going to jump right on into the Ops versus the Death Riders. And it was like a teacher versus student is what I was told. You had Kid and Shabazz began the match. Both the men were exchanging blows, and then they both tagged out. Joe and Yuta went up. The early minutes of the match was pretty slow paced. They took their time, kinda. Pretty good selling from both of these men. The match went a little long. I'd say as far as wrestling, I'd give it a B+. And then some of the notable moments that I took away from it was when when Kid and Shabazz had an exchange at the beginning of the match, and then the jab that Joe, when he took down Yuta, that was pretty brutal. But the Young Bucks ended up, why do I keep saying the Young Bucks? The Death Riders ended up coming out on top. They won. They beat the Ops. And so, yeah. The Death Riders, that's, what's his name? That's his boys. Your boy, John Moxley, that's his boys. So, they ended up winning. Next up was the men's casino gauntlet. It was MJF and Mark Bishko. They had a huge feud leading up to this. But, again, I'd say, MJF had to win this. You had Ricochet in it, and you had Take a Shit. They were also in it too. But it was nice to see MJF. He had to win this. It's a pretty good sequence of moves. The Gates of Agony was locked in, and like I said, it was a pretty good match. You could tell the crowd was really into this match, and it was really nice to see MJF come out on top. So, moving on, Dusty Rhodes and Daniel Garcia versus Kyle Fletcher and Sammy Guevara, and for the TNA Championship. No, this wasn't a tag team match. I'm tripping. This was a 4-way. Dusty Rhodes ended up winning, which is crazy because Dusty Rhodes being the frickin' champion while his brother is in WWE, not a champion. It's just kind of crazy how the tables turn. So congratulations to Dusty Rhodes on winning the TNT Championship in the Fatal 4-Way. Match 6, the Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. Very good. Very good. All awesome wrestlers. Everybody in this, the Young Bucks and Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay are some of the best actual technical wrestlers in the world. I gave this match an A-. The announcers were really into this. The crowd was really into this. And I think that because the Young Bucks lost, they lost their EVP status. And then if Swerve and Ospreay lost, they would have to give up, like, they couldn't compete for a title for, like, a certain amount of time. I think it was a full calendar year. So, this was a pretty good match. Like, it was really nice. Sorry if it feels like I'm rushing through this. I'm kind of rushing through it because I have a lot to say about the last match. So, I'm going to just try to not, like, kind of read the the result and everything and just give my kind of quick opinions on it because I really want to get to the last match because that's like what was really important to me. And then the women's gauntlet match, you had Athena. She wins the Casino Gauntlet. I gave it a B-. Penelope Ford was by Bane's side tonight as usual. Nightlane's gear was really good. Mello and Bane had a really crazy fall and it looked really bad. But other than that, the pops were all right. It wasn't like super crazy, but like I said, it was a women's multi-match, and it was the best it could be for a women's multi-match. Congratulations to Athena for winning the women's Casino Gauntlet. Moving on, the Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed versus the Patriarchy. The Hurt Syndicate defeats Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. I gave this match a C. FTR and Stroke came ready to wrestle. Yeah, it was a pretty good match. The Hurt Syndicate did their thing. Bobby and Shelton doing really good for how old they are. Still looking good. And the Wayne's World on the apron, I like that. I thought that looked pretty cool. So, yeah. Pretty good match. Next up, co-main event. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. Oh, six belt most Mercedes. Obviously Toni Storm won. I think she got booed. She was driven into a classic. What was the car? She got driven into like a classic car. Brought her up into the stage, and everybody liked that, the car that she came in today. But I thought that was really cool that she got brought up in a car. Like, doing that was cool. You know what I'm saying? She kind of paying tribute to our boy Eddie Guerrero, one of my all-time favorites of all time. But like I said, Storm did it. Took away what they call her Mercedes Hogan. Took her belt away. All them dang belts she be carrying around. So, congratulations to Toni Storm. Next up was Kenny Omega versus Okada. Two of the best technical wrestlers of all time. A- for this match. I thought the video package was really solid. And the match felt like forever. And then JR joined the commentary. So I said that I liked that a lot. And then the final minute of the match with all the false finishes and just like the, doing the technical work rate stuff, I thought was pretty cool. And then lastly, the main event. This is where I'm going to tell you everything that went down. So, Jon Moxley versus Adam Page in a Texas death match. Final match of the night between Mox and Page. Of course, his wife was at ringside to support. Hangman and Mox were in the corner. Mox stopped the mud hole Hangman stumped the mud hole through Mox. Crowd went crazy. Page drew blood first, repeatedly stabbing Mox in the head with the fork. It was brutal, obviously. You could see the wound opening up. There was no hiding it. They showed some of the hits, and then the fork was doing a lot of damage. This match lived up to the name, Texas Death Match. We saw everything being used. They hurt each other, including using broken glass and that fork, as I said. The Death Riders, of course, showed up to give Mox an unfair advantage, but it didn't stop Hangman from fighting back. They told a really good story and using as much violence as possible. It won't be everyone's cup of tea, but It was a match that people will talk about for quite a while. Ospreay tried to give Page assistance, but he ended up being taken out by Darby Allin. And then Daniel Bryanson showed up with a mask, and he helped out. And then he got rid of Cesaro. What's his name? He got rid of Cesaro. I just know him as Cesaro, so I apologize. But Allin descended from the ceiling, and then he had a face-off with Mox. He used that opportunity to hit a buckshot lariat, followed by a death eye through the table on ringside, which was a crazy spot. Moxley recovered and hit a stomp, and then Prince Nana handcuffed Sapphire to the Timeskeeper's table. That's when I popped. That's when I was like, this is like getting good. He handcuffed Mox's girl to the table, and then the Young Bucks gave a chain to Moxley, and he used it to hang him over the top rope, and then Mox literally tapped out. Swerve Strickland came, and he gave him that same chain that the Young Bucks used that they tried to take him out with. And then that was it. He tapped out, and Page ended up winning, and then Page started crying as he tried to open up the box. They had a little bit of malfunctioning, like trying to open up the box. They had to keep cutting away, but no, that match was really good. Like I was at my girlfriend's house, and I'm saying like WWE might have messed up, putting all that stuff up against All In. Like they probably. Whew, that was tough. Like they shouldn't have did that. In my opinion, that was a really good match. And I just think that if AEW can keep that up, can keep on building like that, they can this is in my opinion, this is the worst that AEW is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And WWE is becoming that bad. So very soon, you know what I'm saying? All the wrestling fans, the wrestling fans who bash AEW or bash WWE or who bash AEW and only watch WWE, there's really not going to have anything to say anymore really soon, because AEW's numbers are going to be right on par with WWE's. So then what's anybody going to say? Because they're both going to be technically bad. So I don't think AEW is like some perfect company by any means. They're still really new. I could hear the announcers talking about it, about how 6 years ago, we just started up. So it's only been 6 years. So they're not doing that great, but I feel like for what they're doing, it's okay. It's really good. Compared to what we're seeing with a 50-year-old company with WWE. And so glad that Texas got that show. Heard there was 23,000 people there. And it was really nice. It was nice to see Rhodes win a championship. Tony Storm. I forgot. Edge came back. Edge came back and saved Christian. I don't know how I forgot about that. But he was aura farming like a mug. He came out with the smoke, and he runs to the right side and starts dancing with the crowd. I'm like, that's some WWE stuff, where you aura farm before you, your friend's getting beat up and you're aura farming, you're Jey Uso, you're yeeting. I'm like, dude, really? So, like I said, this was a pretty good pay-per-view overall. If I had to give it a letter grade, I would give it, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you as if I was, locked in the whole time. I'd say I watched Edge's return when after Dusty Rhodes won. I watched Swerve Strickland's match. I watched the Young Bucks. I watched the Ops and their match with the Death Riders, and then I watched Tony Storm and what's her name, Mercedes Moné, and then obviously I watched the main event. So I'm not gonna sit here, and then Okada too. So I'm not gonna sit here and Okada and what's his name. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I watched every single match and was paying all the best attention. It was a long pay-per-view, but I was dialed in for some of it. So yeah, I'd say, like I said, I give this a 6 or a 7. I don't think it was awful, This is their WrestleMania. If I had to say, like, compare these two, I feel like this was, like, better than WrestleMania, to be honest. I feel like this was better than WrestleMania. And I wasn't even for real. Like WrestleMania was terrible. And this was, like, better than it. This actually felt like the pyro was amazing. I was like, wow. Like, you remember when, like, not to be stupid, but, like, when Chris Benoit won the championship, who else won? Like, Stone Cold won the championship. Like, when Eddie Guerrero won the when you win the championship at the biggest pay-per-view, they shoot off pyro and they do all that. Like, it isn't, like when Cody Rhodes won, like, it's supposed to be, like, the big climax and, like, a big celebration and everything like that. Like, I thought that was really cool. We hadn't seen that in a long time, you know? Like, it was cool to see John Cena win 17, but, like, it was, like, all for none because Travis Scott helped him. So, I don't know. But you guys let me know how you felt about All In. I got one more video coming up, the Saturday night's main event, and I don't think that even held a candle to this. So, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and it's going to be a double upload Sunday/Saturday. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Blitz Renegade out. No holds barred, no flags thrown, and no fouls drawn. Peace.